What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Of course, follow me on TikTok as well. So let's get into this one. So there's a bit of news that's come out not too long ago now. Obviously, Ben Whittaker has now left Boxer with Ben Shalom and has now signed with Eddie Hearn, and he's now a Matchroom fighter. And they've recently just done a press conference to launch this new signing of Ben Whittaker, and they've done advertising, the Jerry Maguire's thing with Eddie Hearn. He got his acting skills out, and so they've announced this opponent. Now, the opponent they've got is also called Benjamin Gavazi. He's a German light heavyweight. He's 20-1, I believe it is. He's just got the one loss, and it was a stoppage loss, a KO loss, according to what they've got on BoxRec. So he's a guy where, most of the opponents have had losing records. He's an obscure guy that really and truly, as far as, I suppose this side of the pond, no one really sort of knows who he is. But I think the catch is for Ben Whittaker that the idea of fighting this guy is because you get a WBC silver title, which is a title that I think Dillian White and a number of other fighters have sort of used this WBC trinket title, the silver or whatever it's called. And what it does is it lines you up for a shot at the full titles, I suppose within a few fights. So it's one of these fights where I think there definitely could have been a better opponent, someone more notable. I'd, take the same tack as a lot of other guys on YouTube have said, G-Man, and I think Hatman Strikes Back, and some others have said that, you've got Craig Spider Richards, you've got Lyndon Arthur out there, you've got, Dan Aziz, guys like that. So there's definitely other names that were, that are sort of notable names this side of the pond, which would have made for, I suppose, more compelling viewing and more, would have been a bit more convincing, after the Liam Cameron debacle where, he destroyed Liam Cameron in the rematch. So I like others, it's one of them where I suppose it gives him a leg up, it gives him an advantage, it gives him sort of a bit of leverage there with the WBC to get a shot. So I suppose I see why he's doing it, but I would like to have seen, a different opponent, someone, who we know, someone a bit more sort of proven, because this guy is fighting, this Gavazi guy has not boxed outside of his native Germany, which is, it's normally a red flag with a lot of fighters where they've not been outside of their homeland and whatnot. So that's to me is a red flag that you got what looks on paper to be an all right record, but you've not really boxed outside of Germany. So, no one really have known. A lot of them are losing records and stuff. And to be fair, Ben Whittaker hasn't really fought anyone as yet either. But that's sort of my thoughts on it. I mean, I think it all remains to be seen. You never know. This guy could give Ben Whittaker a bit of trouble, but I'm expecting Whittaker to sort of just cruise to victory. And, to be fair, I can't say stoppage because I haven't seen this guy box before, so I don't know anything much about him. But I would expect Ben Whittaker to sort of cruise to victory, and if he gets hold of him, maybe do it by stoppage, who knows. But definitely it looks like a bit of a softish touch, but ultimately we'll see on Fight Night. All questions will be answered there. So let me know your thoughts about this. Ben Whittaker has announced his opponent against this guy, Benjamin Gavazi from Germany. A bit of an obscure guy, but we'll see what he brings to the table. Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.